thinking she was too bland or boring, at least is what I heard. And then she became Janis Joplin. So lots of singers cheat to, I would call it cheating as long as you can sing in that voice consistently. You know, I mean, I'm cheating in every role I play. So I'm real excited to be in Memphis. I'm a music guy. I own 2 Gibson guitars and a PRS. Which I'm not going to wear this shirt to the Gibson factory when I go later. But I have 2 Gibsons and 1 PRS, so they'll be happy about that. And my name is Schemmel, and I'm best known as the voice of Goku in Dragon Ball Z, and I've been portraying Goku for 17 years now, close to 17 years. And I also voiced King Kyndale on the show. I have done hundreds of voices for other shows and cartoons over the last 17 years, including Pokemon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, most recently, Sophia the First, Lego Scooby-Doo, I'm trying to think of other stuff I've done. I'm a former ADR director, and I've adapted and directed various anime to in English. I'm an audiophile and musician. I'm a professionally classically trained musician, and I played French horn and orchestras for about 10 to 20 years or so. I played professionally. I mean, I've played the horn for about 25 years, and I just started playing again. I'm just giving you an idea of my background. I have my own recording studio. I guess the reason I say that is, I try to make my panels infotainment. Like, I want to be funny and interesting, etc. But there may be ways that you can learn stuff, and I hope you come away with something that's interesting. Versus episode 92, Dragon Ball Z, when you screamed that loud, how long did you hold your breath? I mean, that's a fine question. However, what's more interesting to me is, what's your favorite preamp, and what do you think about the second and third order harmonic distortion of that preamp? Just saying. And I like talking about sound and music and psychology and astrophysics and anything. So it doesn't have to be Dragon Ball related, and I won't mind if the entire panel is Dragon Ball related. I'm not sick of that, that's fine. But if there are other things that interest you in life that you'd like to talk to me about, for example, in one panel, I give a big lecture on how you can achieve your dreams and what psychological things you need to do, which includes pissing off your parents to have what you want in life. And that you should do, and how I did it, and how you can do it, and how hard it is, and how you can gauge whether or not you're on the right path. For example, and I'm not, Dr. Phil or whatever, but I successfully switched careers, and I had to do a lot of introspection and a lot of doing a lot of this to a lot of people who thought I should be doing this. And that's a really hard thing to do when you love people, and you care about them, and you don't want to disappoint, say, your parents, or your wife, or your husband, or your best friend, and also not only wanting to have their support, but being secure enough in your own art. I mean, I'm still insecure as a voice actor, and I'm a successful voice actor. I'm still insecure, because I'm hypercritical of my work. I didn't think I was a decent voice actor until I had been voice acting in New York for about 5 years. And even my agent the other day is like, "You're spectacular, do you not realize that?" I'm like, I don't. I think I'm okay at it. I don't. Because I'll go listen to Mel Blanc, anytime I get an ego about it, I start thinking I'm really good, I go listen to Mel Blanc, and I get knocked down to the lowest rung. Because that guy, to this day, I listen to Mel Blanc stuff, and I'm like, it's so good. He's so good. And there are guys that are living today that I admire a lot as well. That being said, and my introduction's out of the way, Josh is around here because we have trouble hearing. Normally I would just listen because I have a loud voice, but because of the acoustics, Josh is going to come on, and I'm going to point to people, and we're going to open the floor for questions. So, you point, I'll go. Yes, thank you, Josh. Way in the back, had his hand up first. The guy with the parka hat on. I love that hat. I actually kind of want it. It's so cold in here. By the way, I'm a little high on some drug I took from the pharmacy that it dries you out and makes you not have allergies. So I'm having allergies. So I'm really dry and a little bit, lightheaded. So I'll probably say something real stupid. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you found the milk of human kindness yet?
Funny you should mention that. I also voiced Strong in Fallout 4, and a couple other characters in that show. I had this great marketing idea that I got from, I actually just kind of borrowed it from Tony Hawk. During the recording sessions, I told Bethesda, I was like, dude, we need to have a geocaching Twitter, find the milk of human kindness bottles out in the world, and then when they tweet